Thank you for checking out Defense Innovations, and today we're talking about the Ruger Precision 6.5. See a picture of the rifle, some rounds, and the target. So let's get started.
Good evening, this is Matt with Defense Innovations, and today I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about the Ruger Precision rifle. This one right here is my personal. It is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor, and we will go through some of what we've experienced with the rifle, pluses and minuses, and go over some of the specs. We'll get into reloading just a little bit, since if any of you are doing 6.5, you're probably finding that it is not the easiest round to procure, but it's not impossible, and it's getting better. I think especially with the launch of this Ruger product, you'll see more product support coming every day. Alright, so first things first, let's go over the technical data, which is something that we like to do in these videos. The Ruger Precision rifle offered by Ruger comes in 3 different caliber offerings: 308 Winchester, 6.5 Creedmoor, and 243 Win, all of which come with a 10-round detachable Magpul PMag, or for the most part, any 30 caliber class magazine will work in this rifle. While we're on that topic, one of the unique things about this gun is what they refer to as the multi-magazine interface, which will allow you to use the M110 mags, SR25, DPMS Magpul style mags, and AICS mags. They said some M14 mags work, but not all of them. If I said this earlier, I just want to go ahead and correct it. These rifles ship with 2 10-round Magpul mags, which is pretty handy. Getting back to some of the original data here, they're all coming with a cold hammer forged 5R rifling barrel. The 308 comes standard with a 20-inch barrel. The 6.5 comes standard with a 24-inch barrel, and the 243 comes standard with a 26-inch barrel. These all kind of vary on weights depending on the barrel length, obviously. So the 308 comes in at 9.7 pounds, the 6.5 comes in at 10.6 pounds, and the 243 comes in at a husky 11 pounds. The varying twist rates, it just depends on your personal preference. The 308 comes chambered in it comes in a twist rate of 1 to 10. The 6.5 runs a 1 to 8, and the 243 runs a 1 to 7.7. Now, the big thing recently, this rifle has not been easy to find for a lot of people. The suggested retail from Ruger is $13.99, which for a weapon system that can do this, I really don't think that that's an unreasonable price. However, the the dealer price is substantially less. I know what that is, but I don't think that it's all pertinent to say exactly what it is. I will say that the dealer cost on this is below $900. Now, everybody's entitled to make a pretty penny, but when I see $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 on these rifles on Arms List and Gun Broker, it kind of aggravates me a little bit, because people are really trying to get rich off of this. But we live in a democracy, in a capitalist society, so people are completely entitled to do that. But just so you know, in my opinion, anything between $950 and $1,200 is a relatively fair price for the rifle. I got mine in Columbus, Ohio, at a gun store chain up there, and I believe I paid $10.49 for mine, which in my opinion wasn't too bad. I mean, I wish I could have gotten it for maybe $50 or $100 cheaper, but seeing as how hard they are to find, I gladly paid the $10.50 and went about my way. Okay, let's start at the front here and work our way back. As you look at the rifle, you might be wondering what I've added to it. So as we start up here in the front, I did add the Surefire Pro Comp in 7.62, and that is easily found on Amazon or any of your basic websites direct from Surefire. Back here I've added the Atlas bipod with the ADM quick detach. This rail section does ship with the whole package, so that was convenient. These two items were add-ons. This magazine is obviously an add-on. I'm running the Bravo Company, I believe it's the Mod 0 or the Mod 1 grip. It has a much more comfortable angle for when you're prone, and you're shooting this rifle prone, I would hope, majority of the time. I've also added the Magpul Prs Stock, which I'm a huge fan of. If you've watched my Mark 12 video, the Bravo Company Mark 12 video, I've utilized this stock on a lot of precision rifles. I think for the money, which I know it is a little bit expensive, it's usually in the $250, $300 range. It is a little pricey, but it's so solid. Now, the trade-off with it being solid is it's pretty heavy, so you're probably adding a couple pounds just with that stock. I've also added the Accushot Monopod, which is very handy, especially when shooting prone. For those of you who are not aware, this stock here, the monopod here is adjustable. So you can get elevation changes very quickly, and you can screw it, lefty loosey, righty tighty, right? So you can screw it back in here and it'll drop it down, giving you more elevation. The button here will give you, quick change, so if you press it, it'll drop and come back down all the way. But between the good bipod and the very good monopod, it makes precision shooting a lot easier. And depending on what your application is, the nice thing about this setup is I don't need to carry bags with me all the time, which is convenient. I still prefer to shoot from bags when I have the chance to. But sometimes you're not always carrying around, 20 pounds of bags. You just don't want to, be carrying that around all the time. I've also added the LRI Bolt Shroud, which a lot of people have talked about. I just preferred that one to the plastic one. It does feel a lot more rigid and a lot more secure. I have not messed with the bolt handle at all. Really not worried about it. I think it's completely fine the way it is. I don't need something crazy on the end of that. I've not messed with the trigger, and I think it's pretty good right out of the box. I don't know if Timney or POF or anybody's going to come out, maybe Geisley, I don't know, if someone's going to come out with an upgraded trigger, but I think you're kind of wasting your money when you can be focusing money on glass or mounts or bipods. I wouldn't mess with the trigger personally. I am running the Vortex 6-24 Viper PST. Mine is in MOA, and it's the EBR1 reticle, so my turrets are in a quarter MOA, which a lot of people are doing, the Mills and the MRAD and all the different crazy reticles. That's fine. I'm not going to preach to you which measurement system to use. It's all personal preference. I grew up with MOA. I trained on MOA, so for me, MOA works just as fine. I just run Butler Creek lens covers. I've worked with some of the other ones, especially Vortex. I actually found that the Vortex scope caps were garbage. They were just not good. They did not stay on very well. They didn't close or open very easily. They wouldn't stay closed very often. When I did get them to stay closed, when I would pull on them to open them up, the whole thing would come off the tube. And I even called them and let them know about it, and they said, well, we're not sure what the problem is. My first inclination was maybe I got the wrong size, but when I called them and gave them the scope and the size of the ones I ordered, that was it. So, any problems that I've encountered with this gun? I would say two problems I've encountered with this gun that I think Ruger may be addressing if they can. On the other side of the gun, this is, I don't know if you can hear this, but the safeties on these kind of wiggle, and they don't come in and out of safe or fire, but they can just wiggle. So I'll be quiet here and I'll let you see if you can hear it. Now that's the safety not coming off of safe or fire, but that's the sound of it wiggling in place. So that's actually flipping it. But that's how much play is in that safety. I wish that had a little bit tighter of a tolerance on it, and I think you can get some upgraded aftermarket safeties. So I'm going to look into that because I'm left-handed, so I want the ambi safety anyway. I believe Seekins makes an upgraded one. And the other thing that I've noticed is the multi-mission or multi-mag configuration here is sometimes rather finicky when there's no ammo in it. I've noticed that if your bolt's forward and you're trying to get this up in here, you can get it. You're like, okay, I got it, I'm pushing real hard. Okay, now you don't got it, you know. So it doesn't seat very well on a closed bolt. And the one thing that I've noticed, what I did to one of my rounds was when I had a full mag, I believe it was a 10-round mag, and I had a closed bolt, and I inserted the mag, and it would not lock. And so I just tapped it real lightly. Still wouldn't lock. All right, so I pulled it out, and the top of the casing that I had was crushed. And so this will allow for over travel, and it will damage the bullet. And it ran almost the whole length of the case right up to the neck. So I didn't even feel like I would get a good fit in the chamber, so I had to discard that round. So that was something that was a little frustrating. That was a one and done. I learned about that, so that's not going to happen again. I did forget to mention this scope is sitting in an ADM cantilevered mount, like an AR style mount. They do make the ADM mounts that are in a bolt action configuration. For my purposes, I kind of like the cantilever. It's not a bad thing. It does give you a 20, the gun itself has a 20 MOA rail on it, so you do get that adjustment that transfers up, because that is a 0 MOA adjustment on that ADM mount. One of the other nice things that this rifle comes with is the Samson Evo rail system on the front, which is nice because by itself it's a fairly expensive rail. So it's nice to have key mod right out of the box. Other than that, I really haven't had any issues with this rifle. It's shot very well. I'm trying to see here, when we were doing some testing on some targets here, see if these are anywhere handy. This was just at 100 yards. I'm not sure where this one was on up here, but if you can see here, there's 3 rounds here. I believe this one was like a .2 MOA group or something, 0.28, I forget. But this was from a target from one of the very first outings we took it on. Once you get it dialed in, it's no problem to be hitting 1,000 all day long with the 6.5. And even the 308 and the 243s on a not so windy day. The one thing we did notice was that the 6.5 in the wind cut through a lot better than the 308s. We saw the 308 models were kind of dumping their bullets out at around 800 yards in a stiff wind. So 6.5 does give you some added benefits. I've run quite a few different tests with different powder configurations as we've been reloading. The 2 that I've kind of settled with have been 4350 IMR and Alliant Reloader 17. I will say that they're up in the 40 grain area. Like I said, I'm not a master reloader or a balistician by any measure, but we are loading these just a little bit hot, not terribly hot, just to case overall length of 2.80. And these are 140 AMAXs from Hornady. But yeah, I would get out there, I would read a lot and see what you can find and see what people are using. Always double check. I know people damage their guns from loading too hot, and that's quite a possibility. Well, anyway, I'm going to get back to reloading some more 6.5s here this evening. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them here on the video. Make sure to subscribe and send me a private message. Thanks. Have a great day.
So again, I said I wasn't going to get into a lot of a ballistics discussion pertaining to this bullet, but in this part here, I am loading some 140 grain Hornady AMAX rounds to a case overall length of 2.0. I've experimented with 2 different powders, Reloader 17 and IMR 4350. And I've had more success velocity-wise with the Reloader 17, so I would definitely recommend that. It is a little bit harder to find than the 4350, but I think it's definitely worth the successes that you'll get with it.
.48. On target. Second.
Just to explain our shooting position in this part of the video, we are shooting up on a farm up in the mountains, and we are shooting at a stationary target that's on the side of a box at 100 yards, and then there's a clay on a fence post at 125 yards.
And for reference in this part of the video, we will go ahead and take 3 shots at the center target. This is at a range of 125 yards using Hornady 140 AMAXs loaded with 41.5 grains of IMR 4350. So this first shot, we were right on plane with the bullseye. We were left about 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to walk this in, and hopefully by the third shot we'll go ahead and be really close to the bullseye. Okay, we cut that distance in half. Very close to the bullseye now, knowing the measurement we should be straight on. First shot was indicated by an orange on the splatter, and this second shot went right in, looks like on the yellow ring. We'll go up with the camera here and take a look. Take one more shot, hopefully we'll start seeing a magenta color. Alrighty, so this is kind of what we were looking at. So we saw that the first shot, I could see through the scope, hit right here, over here in the orange. The thing of it is, man, it's just a straight line using that the Bipod and the Monopod combination. It's just fantastic stability. Walked it right in on the same plane. First shot, you can see that in the orange. Second shot came in right into yellow. And once we got lined up knowing where we were, we put it right there. So we're very close to the bullseye now. It's just a matter of dialing it in.
This clay right here that we're about ready to shoot is out at about 125 yards. Thanks again for watching our videos. Make sure to subscribe, leave any comments, or if you're looking for us to do another video, we're always open to suggestions. Thanks. Have a great day.